It didn't take long. Afternoon. Look, we're still assessing him. We'll make a call later on this afternoon to make sure that he's okay. He's still struggling with his ribs and his shoulder a little bit, but hopefully he can get through hitting some balls now and see how he goes this afternoon.
Russell, apart from obviously that fantastic win in New Zealand at the start of the year, the team's form in Test hasn't been great. I mean, for you, what would you realistically expect as a measure of success in this match? Obviously, you know, to win it, but realistically, what would be a successful outcome?
Look, I know in terms of the results, the Test side hasn't been good. We've lost a lot of Test matches, but in terms of the way the games have gone and the competitive nature of it, I think there have been some big improvements in it. We know we're up against a really good Indian side here, in conditions that they're not that dissimilar to or not that unfamiliar with. Every series we play, we try and win, there's no doubt about it. And it's a home series, so my expectation is for us to be competitive, try and get the games into the fifth day, try and find a win on the fifth day. There's no doubt about that. We don't go into any games playing to not win. So realistically, I think we've got a chance. We can beat them if we play really well. We've done it for periods of time in Test series over the last year, but not for long enough. So we know it's a tough series. I'm under no false illusions, but I'm expecting us to be very competitive and hopefully push India really hard in this series.
And you were talking about big improvements. I mean, can you describe what some of the...
Yeah, look, I think number one, going to South Africa, I think that first Test match in South Africa where we restrict bowled South Africa out twice, we were chasing 270 and then got caught out in the last session. We were very much in that particular Test match. I think that we lost the Test series to the West Indies in Bangladesh, but they got 395 on day 4 when we didn't take our referrals, lost by 15 runs in the second Test. So a lot of the games have had swings that have been really close. I think Litton Dust's performance in the Test matches, he's come good. Taskin's been fantastic. Eberdot's stepped up. So there have been a lot of really good positives for us. Mamadou Hassan Joy's 100 in South Africa. So there have been a lot of positives and a lot of good performances. It's just stringing those performances together consistently, session after session, that has sometimes been the challenge for us.
Coach, specifically mentioning Domingo, Joy and Shanto. Obviously, there hasn't been a lot of runs in longer format cricket for them in the run-up to this test match, especially Domingo and Joy didn't score a lot of runs against India as well. Is there a concern, and what have you seen of them here?
Look, the challenge with when you're only playing one like Mominul and Hassan's last international game maybe 6 months ago now, and that's the challenge when you're only playing one format. A lot of guys, Sakib, Litton, they're playing week in, week out, they're playing international cricket, so it's not a big step up when they play domestic games, so that is a challenge for those one format players. Look, I know they might be short of runs, but they're actually looking really good the way they're playing at the moment. And I know the currency is runs, you've got to get runs, but in terms of technically and the way they're playing, they're actually looking in pretty good touch at the moment. I know Joy in particular has got a lot of starts, a lot of 20s, faced 50 balls and then got out. So it's just about finding that tempo and making sure that when you do get in international cricket, is finding that big score, because technically they both look in a good place at the moment.
Shanto?
Well,
Shanto, as in, he had another shot at that one-day series, he scored runs, and this year hasn't been great for him.
yeah, look, he showed some really good signs in the Test maybe a year and a half ago. He got 200s, one against Sri Lanka. And batting in the top order for young players, it's a tough position. Joy, if you had to ask Joy where he'd like to bat, he'd probably say 3 or 4, because I don't think he's always been a natural opener. I know Zakir is coming into Test squad now. I think he's only opened 8 or 9 times, so he'd also prefer to probably bat 3 or 4 type of thing. So it's about being patient with those young players, particularly at international level. I mean, opening the batting 1, 2, and 3 in Test match cricket, probably the hardest job in international cricket. So we've got to be patient with these young boys. Hopefully they start repaying some of the faith and give us something to hang on to as coaches and selectors, because that's ultimately what you want. Excuse me, sir. Hi, sir.
series it is most by any team. So do you, as a coach, do you think they Bangladesh can take home advantage or they didn't utilize home conditions well as they are in ODI?
Yeah, look, it's a tricky one because I'm generally wanting us to play on good wickets so that our cricket can improve. And I think part of that probably led to us doing really well in New Zealand in that one test match. I'm always very nervous about preparing wickets that are massively over the top because I don't think it benefits any of our game in the long term. If we're looking for results right now, I mean, you could prepare raging turners, but that brings India into the game just as much. So it's a very difficult situation we find ourselves in. We want to play on good wickets so that our batters can bat for long periods of time. But we know that then the Indian batsmen can also bat for long periods of time. So it's a very difficult situation. But I'm all for playing on good wickets. I don't think we need to play on wickets that are going to massively favour our bowlers because ultimately I don't think that benefits the team in the long run.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
there is a football World Cup semi-final tonight, and lots of boys in the camp are football enthusiasts. You can take it as a fun question or you can take it seriously. How tough it will be to ensure the boys, sleep early and fine?
Now we've got to go to bed. It's as simple as that. You can't be watching football till 3 in the morning and playing a test match that starts at 9:30. It's stupid. I'd be disappointed if they did. I'd be very disappointed if they did.
Coach, Little is not keeping for a long period of time right now. He didn't keep in World Cup T20s, he didn't keep in ODI series, and we didn't see him practicing keeping in fast test as well. So is there a concern about Little keeping or not?
Now I want Shawan to keep. I think if you look at the last test performances, Shawan was fantastic in the West Indies. There's no way he's got the right character, good keeper, gives us a good competitive edge behind the stumps, very vocal, so thoroughly deserves his place. And I'm wanting to back Shawan as a keeper in the test side because his performance has been really good when he's played. He's the one batter at the moment, averaging over 40 maybe in test match cricket. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure. But he's come in and done really well when he's played, so he'll keep tomorrow.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
in the last 4 or 5 tests, Shanto got out after passing all the struggle period after being sick. Is it a concern?
It is because that's the hardest part of batting is to get yourself in. He's got himself just 20s and 30s so many times, then got out. So it's definitely something he's aware of and something we've spoken about.
Another question. We saw that some young guys from A team, from HP team, young pacers, young off spinners, is it a great opportunity to them?
Absolutely, been great to have them train here with us. Alan did fantastically to invite them all over to come and spend a couple of days with us, and he spent a bit of time with them. So there's some really good, nice fast bowlers in the system. I've been impressed with some of the tall boys that I've seen, which puts Bangladesh fast bowling in a good position at the moment. I think our fast bowling resources are looking good at the moment, and that's a big positive for us.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
did the side in the ODIs recently. He is also the deputy of Sakiba Hassan in Test cricket. So my question is, how impressive Litoni as a captain or vice captain?
For the test match,
Captain or vice captain in ODI or Test?
Sakib's captain of the test team, Litan vice captain of the test team. What's the question, sir?
He is in the ODI.
Oh, how impressive. Yeah, look, I actually spoke to him yesterday, and I like captains that are like really calm and not quietly spoken, but supportive of their players, particularly when the team's under pressure. And I actually watched the second ODI on television yesterday, and I saw when Eberdot could hit for a 6 or 1 disappeared over the scoreboard. He was very calm in his body language and his demeanor, and I think that really helped the team get over the line. So I was very impressed with the way he went about things. Look, he had a lot of assistance tactically on the field, which was fantastic by some of the older players, but I really felt he carried himself well and kept his team really calm in the pressure situations in the game. So I was very impressed with that.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
in the last few years, the dimension of the test cricket has been changed. There are lots of attacking cricket and very much, most of the countries are playing attacking cricket now. Where is Bangladesh test cricket now, and if opponent attack us, what will be our plan?
Well, if you ask me if we're going to bat like England, I don't think so. Not at the moment. It's unbelievably exciting the way they're playing and taking the game forward. And I mean, massive credit to the way they've gone about it. I don't think we're there yet as a team where we can try and play that brand of cricket. We've got to find ways to not lose first before we find that winning formula, because at the moment we still get too easily beaten in this format. When teams attack us, look, I'm not sure how India are going to go about their business. I think they also quite an orthodox team in the way they play their test match cricket, but have players that can take the game away from you very quickly. They're all attacking players. We've got to make sure we're really disciplined and patient in the way we bowl and stay calm in the pressure moments. But yep, I'm not expecting India to try and play the way that England play, because I don't think that's their style of test match cricket at the moment.
Last 3 questions.
Coach Manoj from Sports Yari, you spoke about spin. If not, then it will definitely come into the picture in the May tour. So India have virtually up their ranks with that off spinner and against the left-handers. That would be a favorable matchup for him as well. So how are the preparations for Ashwin, and also update on Taskin, because yesterday he said that he's not sure.
Firstly, on Taskin, we're not going to risk Taskin playing this first test match. He's come from a little bit of a layoff and a few injections, and to get him to bowl for a day and a half in Chittagong in these conditions, maybe not good for him. So he'll probably be rested for the first test match. And then exactly what I said is the situation we sit at. If you prepare Raging Turner, India very much in the game, so very tricky, because Ashwin's one of the best spinners that's ever played the game. Look, we've spoken about it, and each player will have his individual plans about how to counter him, particularly the left-handers, about the areas they're looking to score against him. So those are things as a batting group we've discussed and will continue to discuss over the next couple of days. Pleasure, sir. Yes, sir.
Taijul usually finds himself out of the squad during away tests, when Shakib is there, but during home tests he has to come back and do a lot of work. So what do you think, how difficult it gets for him to adjust to the scenario?
Yeah, like I explained earlier, very difficult for the guys who play that one format. I think the one positive with Taijul is that he's got such a fantastic attitude and desire to play for Bangladesh. When he comes back, he lifts the team by 10% because his attitude is always so good. He bowls so many balls, whether it's in the A team, whether it's domestically. He's just continuously looking to improve, and we know when we play in Bangladesh, he's a trump card for us. He's one of the best bowlers Bangladesh have ever had, particularly in their home conditions. And he's also starting to perform really well when he goes away from Bangladesh. I mean, he picked up 7 in South Africa. So, look, he's an integral part of our test match bowling lineup. The challenge is, when Saqib plays, very difficult to have all 3 of them playing. But look, he's got a lot of cricket ahead of him for Bangladesh. He's got a long career still ahead of him. And like I say, when he's in the team, he's fantastic to have around the place.
Coach, time is not there, and Saqib is injured and not sure that he will play tomorrow. So you have talked to Mushfi for a long time today. I've seen that. So what do you expect from the senior campaign and Mushfi, and what about the wicket? What do you expect from the wicket?
Yeah, look, firstly, what I talk to my players about is between me and my player. It's not for the media. And then secondly, with the wicket, we all know Chittagong generally doesn't offer too much for the bowlers. Can be a good wicket to bat on. But we also know that a lot of the games we've played over the last couple of seasons have produced results. I think I can think of one draw against Sri Lanka. It was high scoring. The West Indies chased down 390. Pakistan chased down 240 against us when we were in a good position. So there have been results. So we know that there's by no means an expectation that this game's a draw. We're going to have to play well here to come on top. And we know a result's very possible here and very much on the cards.
Coach, how do you see newcomer Zakir Hassan?
No, I've been very excited by him. And looks good energy. I know he's done really well domestically. He's also a player that's played 1 T20 for Bangladesh. There seem to be quite a few of those guys that's played 1 game. But he's performed fantastically well domestically. I've been really impressed by the way he looks to score when he bats. A little bit Tamim-like in the way he bats, nice and positive. So hopefully he can get us off to a good, quick start tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.